Welcome to the Fitness and Finance Podcast with Jeff Smith from The Retirement Smith and Jennifer Scherer from Fredericksburg Fitness Studio. True wealth isn't just about finances. It's about maintaining a healthy body and a secure financial future. The Fitness and Finance Podcast is here to help you build strength in both areas, tackling financial strategies for retirement while also discussing ways to stay active, healthy, and energized. Now let's get started with Fitness and Finance. All right, let's get ready to rumble. I'm excited.
Nice.
I am too.
Rumble.
Yeah, we're gonna rumble this morning. We're gonna have to go back. Jeff wants to go back and look at our last 1,000 meals
Yeah.
and 1,000 purchases on the finance side.
Mhm.
And use that information to improve ourselves moving forward. Is that the gist of what we're talking about today?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you look back at your last 1,000 whatevers, you got enough of a track record to find out, where the culprit is. If you're saying, geez, I can't quite understand, why I'm broke or overweight or, all these different things,
Sure.
you can really just kind of look back. But more importantly, you can start today by tracking your next 1,000 decisions, your next 1,000 meals, your next 1,000 activities, and you'll start to be able to put together some idea of the ones that don't belong there.
Mm-hmm. I think what you're trying to get at is patterns, right? Beat perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that all the time. Like, oh man, I went out and had birthday cake, or I had cookies, or missed my workout, and they feel like they've ruined their whole program.
Wow.
And it's like, no, what about all the other days that you were, getting your exercise in and eating healthy? And why don't we focus on the patterns here, not one indulgence,
Right.
ruining the whole
Well,
thing.
conversely, one bad meal or one bad decision typically does not ruin you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is you can't use that as an excuse,
Right.
right? You can't
Right.
say, geez, if you look at your last 1,000 meals and they're all trash except for 10 and you expect to have 6-pack abs, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I mean?
also,
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Well, what about your next 1,000 meals? I mean, what about looking ahead?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And I think people look back in the rearview mirror all the time and they let those failures dictate their next failure. It's
Right.
almost like it's like a vicious cycle.
But we learn from it. They need. I think it's how you react to it. It needs to be. I think what Jeff's saying is use it as a motivator.
Yeah.
But what you're saying, Jen, is human nature. A lot of times, and a lot of people, depending on the person and their overall behavioral patterns. Everybody's different, but they say they let it bum them out and say, "Yeah, see, I can't."
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want it
Continuum
to
here.
debilitate you. I get motivated. Like, I think I used to be that way, but what Jeff's saying is look back and use it as a motivator, saying, if I look at what I can see what's wrong, change those things.
Yes.
As long as you see what's wrong, don't let it bum you out and say, "Oh, see, I can't do anything about it." That's not
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I
use
used
it as
to-
a motivator to change, right?
Exactly. Because the person you'll be 5 years from now,
Matters.
it does matter. And that person
It
is
does.
eating the meals right now. in the
Exactly.
present
It
moment.
matters for your family, for your
Yes.
loved ones.
Mhm.
If you don't want to do it for yourself, I always say, do it for others. Do it for your family. I mean, you got to do it for yourself as well.
I'll tell you, there's scripture that talks about basically that you're going to have a rerun when you get to heaven about all the things that you did, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the bill talk about scary. I mean,
Wait,
thank
I'm going to
God-
have to look back on all the
thank God
mistakes.
for grace, but
Yeah.
I think the thing is that if you use that mentality, like if you had to look back on the last 1,000 meals in front of a crowd of 50,000 people, I think you'd maybe make some changes to some of that food that you took.
Yeah, I
some of the
would.
decisions you made, and if you think, geez, this could be displayed somewhere, I better make the right choices here,
Yeah.
and really have that mindset that because you really are going to be on display to somebody or other people, 6 months from now or however long 1,000 meals
Yeah.
takes,
Mhm. Yeah.
So, I mean, you are an accumulation of your choices.
Yeah.
And you are not a victim of your circumstances.
Yeah.
And I want that's really what I want to get through today is that choices matter.
Mm-hmm.
And you really, your words matter, your thoughts matter. All those things really accumulate into who you are. And it is not someone else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It is not.
It's your decision. It's your life. You can't blame it on, well, my upbringing.
Yeah.
Or my parents made me. I love the one about, he's heavy set, but his parents always made him clean his plate.
Right.
Right.
And I'm
Big
thinking to
bones.
myself, that's not why.
Big-
My grandma always cooked wonderful pies, so it's her fault. And she fed me like when I go over to grandma's house, they'd just feed me, and make me clean my plate. That's why I have a weight problem.
Well,
It's like sure, you develop habits, but my meals today have nothing to do with my late grandmother, who's been gone up into heaven many years now. God bless her.
Soul.
I can't point to my grandmother. Who? Like most people in my life never met her. And I'm like, that's why.
Well,
it's not the
it's
pizza. It's not the large pizza I ate all on my own for lunch.
It's so convenient to blame grandma.
Well, and
It
some
is.
of that is somewhat debilitating for people, because I can give you an example. Is I had a client that was in his 40s and he literally never learned how to eat healthy. That he was surrounded, his entire community was eating unhealthy food. His family was all overweight, had diabetes, until he finally met somebody, a friend group. I think it was another friend group who was active with hiking, and they like started eating in front of him. And he was like, what is this? And so he finally realized, wow, I am a direct product of the food I'm eating. And it took him until his 40s to realize I could do this too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to just settle into the routines that I was.
Right.
But
it came down to him making a choice for himself.
I mean, you would have to live under a rock to not know that there are some other choices besides fried foods and candy.
I know.
I think it was worse before. Now it's more obvious because there are podcasts about fitness and people, waving kale in your face. I'm not going to name names. Jennifer Scherer.
Right.
Every time she sees me, it's like she cracks open that can of green beans and says, "Look, green vegetables."
Green.
But I love the fact of telling our listeners and viewers out there too. I love the way you put it, Jeff, on display. Everything you do, every choice you make, imagine you do it in front of the world, like somebody's filming you, and they're going to show your family and friends and post on social media. So. I wouldn't want my weekend and the choices I made this past weekend put on film. We have the county fair. And I was at the county fair 2 days, all day, one day, because I was helping my buddy run his booth yesterday. So I was there 9 hours.
Wow.
And then on Friday, I was there 6 hours on Friday. So Friday and Sunday, I was at the fair, and I don't want to put on the podcast that I had cheese curds twice. deep fried, coated, greasy cheese curds.
Oh my gosh.
I will say they were delicious.
They sound delicious.
But I actually could feel my arteries harden as I ate them. And one thing, if you eat a little tub of those cheese curds, the greasy, you smell your pores, your skin smells like that grease.
Yes.
You feel it. It's like gross. Why did I make that decision?
Right.
Well, and you said you used the analogy before we started the show about printing a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what if your body printed a receipt? What would it show?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, how much protein did you eat? How many glasses of water did you
You
have?
have to bring that receipt home and show your spouse.
Yeah, how expensive is that?
Look what Daddy did.
Wow. Put that in the spreadsheet.
Oh my God. Well, that receipt's going to explain far more than any scale would. I mean, those are the truth.
Yes.
That's going to literally be able to be a mirror. That is your mirror. If you just take a receipt, that's why I tell people to track. It's the same thing. It's an awareness.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, if you really knew that there was real consequences behind every decision that you make, and there are, you're going to maybe think a little bit differently And I'm not saying you have to sit around in fear and shame. I'm not saying that, but you do have to make sure that you have an accumulation
Mhm.
of good choices as often as possible. We all make mistakes, and we all, but I'll tell you, this weekend, we went for a hike. We did 2.5 hour hike, and we were sore
Yeah.
on Sunday,
Mm.
because we, over a half a mile gained 1,600 feet. That was
Yeah,
a
it was hard.
huge climb.
Oof.
Um,
Wow.
I mean,
Keeping up with Jeff was the hardest part for
it was a
me.
6 mile hike, but it was there was just this portion of it that was ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
So
Wait, you couldn't keep up with
I'm
Jeff?
telling you, Jeff is tough.
Did you bike or walk?
We hiked.
we hiked. Yeah,
Hiked.
And
I'm
he's the one who had the
surprised.
I
backpack.
had the backpack
I'm
too.
surprised because he doesn't have. I thought the person with the longer legs would be.
Yeah, you think. Yeah, he leads the way, and sometimes
I
I'm
usually
like, all
drive.
right.
He's muscle bound and short. You should be able to take him. You should be able to take him in a fight. My money's on Jennifer every time.
That's probably a wise decision. But we could have sat. I mean, we wanted to. And Sunday, we were slotted to cycle, but it was raining,
Yeah.
and we were almost like, oh, that's too bad. Can't cycle.
I get it because you were still recovering from the hike. Yeah.
But we got home. We got back from Riva, our farm place, and we got here, and we have a whole studio of fitness equipment and a whole Pilates studio. So we decided to do an hour of Pilates and then an hour of yoga.
Wow.
And
felt so much better.
And
you mean on Sunday you did that?
Yeah, and I think,
yeah,
sometimes when it's hard to make the choice, when you do, you feel like, wow.
It would have been so much easier for you to say, wow, we really worked hard yesterday. Let's give ourselves a break and let's lay on the couch and watch TV.
And I'm not saying, I mean, people need rest. I'm not suggesting otherwise, but we utilize Saturday and Sunday to do workouts, and we usually take Mondays off. I think the thing here is, we all have very real choices, and I hear a lot of the same things, like, I don't have time to make food at night. I don't have time to, who has time to work out?
You got a meal prep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one
got to work out.
I was just talking to somebody on Jen's team. Actually, we were talking about this, and she was like frustrated that she couldn't find an hour, and then she was like, I just was like rebelling. I wasn't even working out because I didn't have an hour, and then she was like, it was so stupid. I was like, she said, you know what? I have a half an hour. I'm going to do what I can in this half an hour. And then, and then she started feeling better. And then she said, she could do two in different sequence during the day that accumulated to an hour. And so, you start to really snowball good decisions when you make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And when you drop all the excuses and say, geez, I don't want these anymore. These are a burden. Like, you carry around excuses and everybody sees them. Mm-hmm. You think they don't, but they do. Everybody sees them. And when you say them, everybody knows really what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not pretend. Like,
let's not sugarcoat it and pretend.
Yeah, they're like a backpack. You just pull them out when you need them, right?
Well, and what's going to beat those excuses is what we were talking about in the book. So I've been editing the 541 method book that we're combining our fitness and finance, and the 4 pillars that help people overcome the excuses are having the skills, obviously, the support.
Yeah, that's important.
And
too.
Systems are huge. Systems will always guide you in the direction when you're feeling overwhelmed or tired or,
and that permeates. Systems are the answer.
Yes.
And I mean, successful people develop systems.
Yes.
Exactly.
And whether it's in business, for their business, for their fitness, for their health, for their finances.
Yeah. Yes. I always say, like, I'm going to outplan return. I want to outplan it.
There you go.
That's huge. that is the way we need to be viewing it. If you're desiring a 30% return every year, that is so unrealistic, and you're setting yourself up for failure every time, when you could just plan accordingly over the long haul. And I think that our eyes get big on certain things, and And
Sure.
we have to have a realistic view. And so also with those 1,000 decisions, we're not going to be perfect every single
No,
time. So I'm
but
not.
we are going to learn from our mistakes and not let them stop us. And
Yes.
a mistake isn't
Right.
an excuse not to continue. A
Correct.
mistake is an opportunity to learn. And the most successful people, the billionaires, they had so many failures. They have more failures than people that aren't
Of
successful.
course.
That's what's hilarious. I
I
mean,
have 1,000.
but I like what you said. We're going to need to do a whole show called just outplan your
Oh, yeah.
outplan your returns. Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
that's a big
Outplan your
thing for me.
returns?
That's what I talk to people about all the time.
Outplan your returns because it applies to both fitness
I
and
know.
finance.
It
Outplan
definitely
does.
your returns because you're looking
Yes.
for certain
Mhm.
returns with health and
Right.
fitness and with finance.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we need to wrap up the
I
show
know.
today. We
Quick
got to
day
make it
today.
a quick one. You guys got a big day. So
Yes.
great information. I think today was much more, we dove right into it. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it. But
That's
before
funny.
we go, let our listeners know if they have questions or they want to outplan their return and get that plan and those systems in place. That's what you guys do for people. That's what you
Yes.
do for your clients and so many people in the community. How can our listeners and viewers do that?
Jeff, take it away.
Wow. I get to do it today?
Yeah.
Go to fitnessfinancepro.com and set up a time to meet both of us at
Yeah.
the same time. You'll not regret it.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Fitness. Yep.
You're going to love it.
It's fitness finance.
Believe me.
It's fitnessfinancepro.com. God bless you, Jeff. Thanks for coming in.
Oh.
Fitnessfinancepro.com. Next time you guys got to tell me first. I could have worn my hat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
FF.
that's right.
Fitness
That's right. You have
finance.
one.
I want
I
the
do.
listeners to know that I had a dream that Tony embarrassed me on TV
did.
yesterday.
I work at it.
It was a dream, and I woke up in a sweat.
What happened? Did I on the show in front of
Yeah,
everyone? Did I
in front
call
of
you
everyone.
the sleeveless wonder? Did I call you that?
No.
Was that what
You're
embarrassed
just
you?
looking at me like I did something dumb. Probably did. I don't know.
No. All right.
Thanks,
Hey,
Tony.
listeners and viewers, thanks for tuning in. That does it for today's episode of Fitness and Finance Radio with Jeff Smith and Jennifer Scherer.